Hi, it's Annalisa from myspiritualfriend.com, and I'm finally back with a video this time. I know it's been a couple weeks since I posted something. I went a little stir crazy at the end of the summer here. Gotta be honest, it was a rough one. Girls are back in school, so I have a little bit more sanity. I know some of you can relate. I wanted to talk today about intuition or psychic abilities. Which do you have? A lot of my friends will tell me, I'm really intuitive and I kind of get things here and there, but I'm definitely not psychic. And so is there a difference? Intuition, when you look at different definitions, kind of what I found to be the general gist of it was having a sense of knowing something without any logical explanation as to how you know that information. Guess what being psychic is? It's knowing something without knowing really how you know it. And you get it in four main ways. The way you get your information psychically. One, you can be a psychic dreamer. So we'll call that, but that's clairvoyance really. And another, but if you're in your waking state, how do you get your information intuitively or psychically? Claircognizance is clear knowing, something that just comes to you. You don't know how, it's just, you just know it. And that's sort of exactly what people say when they say intuition. By the way, when I'm choosing not to talk about the psychic definition, because every time I looked at different dictionary definitions, they sort of just felt kind of hokey and not in line with making psychic a valid thing. Rather, it felt more like Hollywood or Halloween-y. Yeah, I said Halloween-y. So anyway, so claircognizance is just a clear knowing. There's clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, which means you can actually see an apparition in front of you, full experience. You may see energy, which can be like sparkles or flecks of light, or just like movement of things or shadows. So you may see it outside your naked eye, or you may see it, or you may see it as a vision in your head and your mind's eye. So like think about when you're imagining or you're picturing what a vacation would be like, or what a conversation would be like with somebody. That would be how it is, sort of like in your mind's eye. So that's claircognizance, clear knowing, clairvoyance, clear seeing, clear hearing as clairaudience. And again, with that, you'll hear it with the naked ear. Or or you'll, it's like a thought that'll come in your head, where it's like you're doing one thing, say you're doing the dishes and you're thinking about all the things that you have to do in your day, and all of a sudden you get this thought about a close friend not feeling well. And then lo and behold, you send them a text and they're not feeling well. Or you think about a close friend and they give you a phone call. There is also, sorry, I just heard a beep. My family's doing crazy things upstairs. They're setting up a video. So that's clear hearing. Then there's clear feeling, clear sentience. So you can break it down into like clear smelling, clear tasting. Clear smelling is, I think, I don't know. Clear salience is clear taste. Clear gustance is clear smell. There's all these different things. I just say clear sentience because feeling to me is all kind of that emotional feeling, psychic feeling, and physical feeling, and medical feeling. I guess some people are saying medical feeling, but I'm like, that's all the same thing. So let's just like nip it in the bud at 4, make it easy. Sorry. I'm hearing this weird tapping. Hold on. It wasn't something psychic, really, or not. It wasn't nothing metaphysical. It was my door and the airflow, and it was driving me bananas. And that's the way I roll. Okay, so back to this. So we've talked about the 4 clairs and what they are. So how do you know that what you're getting is not just your mind playing tricks on you? How do you know that it's not something evil or bad? Just how do you discern? So, um, discernment and figuring it out. First of all, everything I've ever gotten psychically is usually out of the blue, unless I'm like purposely tapping in and doing a reading for something. But if I'm just kind of on my own and it's something that happens, it's a passive action, then it just happens. I might be, like I said, doing the dishes and I get a thought about a friend, or and I usually pay attention to them, and it's not something that lingers and I'm mulling over this thought about my friend. It just comes and goes really quick. Think of somebody like running by you with a message. I do a lot of weird actions, don't I? Okay, so it's just very quick. A vision in my head will be very quick, and even when I'm doing readings, everything usually comes very, very quickly, and I can ask for clarification and they'll kind of go back. But if they're just like rambling through information, it's quick. So I have to write stuff down. I keep notes as I do things. In fact, when I do readings, I do like where I tune into their energy and I write notes down before I share it with them, and then more stuff comes as we go back over it. So it's quick, and it's also not scary. When it comes through intuitively or psychically, it's really super calm. There's almost like a loving quality to it. So even if it sounds like it would be really unnerving, when it comes through psychically, it's super, super like, okay, it's mellow. And the example of this is I was riding home in college with a friend, and she was driving, and it was in Wisconsin, and it was the winter time, and there was, it was kind of like patchy ice and stuff like that, but not bad. And there was a lot of cars around us, and we were coming up on an overpass, and we were going to be going under the overpass. And I heard, "You're going to hit a patch of ice under the overpass." And I thought, okay, we're going to hit a patch of ice under the overpass. There was no fear or nervousness. I was just super calm about it. And we got to the overpass and we hit a patch of ice and we started flying. And we could have easily hit another car and we didn't. And we flew over this large curb sideways, and we stopped right before an embankment, got out of the car and checked it, and we were both just like, okay. But even as we were sliding, I was like really calm, like, whatever you do, don't oversteer. Whatever you do, don't do this, do it. Like, it was super cool and calm about it. And that's what, when you get information psychically, intuitively, it's very calm. There's nothing scary about it. That's the way your angels and your guides and your loved ones work. They're not here to freak you out. So you talk about darker, lower energies. How do they feel? They make you feel nervous. They make you feel uncomfortable. There is no like pretending to be loving and kind, and it's a big trick. It doesn't work that way, because people often ask me like, hey, you're not talking to the devil. Well, because I know what negative energy feels like, and I know what this other energy feels like, and it's calm and it's loving. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody's out there to trick me and tell you to love yourself, be kind, be empathetic, be compassionate, to help heal you. That's just not how it works. So you know how to discern it now. Like, it's just calm, it's out of nowhere. And it doesn't mean like, just because you tap into your intuition, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm going to go out and start doing readings for everybody. That's not really what your intuition's for. I have a lot of natural ability. I have still honed it and learned this whole new language, because it is like developing a whole new language, so that I can understand it quicker. Like, when you were, say, if you've ever taken a second language, whatever, it took a while to kind of put it all together. And then once you started recognizing things for, oh, this means that, like loose means light. Okay, so now like certain things start, and understanding starts to come together quicker, and you start to develop a bigger vocabulary. And as you develop a more complex vocabulary, you get more complex messages. Now, that's sort of where I'm at. But if you don't have like as much natural ability as I have, you want to develop it, it's a process. You have to practice. How do you practice? You start validating the information you get. So like, instead of going, oh, that's just a coincidence, because I really don't believe in coincidences, I have to say. Instead of saying that, just thank your guides, thank the universe, thanks God, whatever, for the information or for the gift. When you feel like it's a loved one who's, making themselves known by, say, you randomly get a quick scent, a quick smell of their perfume, or You know, if they were a woodworker, you smell like the smell of sawdust, whatever it is, and you get that, and it's fleeting and it's very quick and it comes and goes. It's less, you know, less than a second. Say hello. You know, if you were knocking on somebody's door and they never answered, would you keep knocking? So it's about honoring and validating those experiences. The other thing you can do is write it down. Write down your dreams, write down, you know, if you get a sense that something's going to happen. If you're too nervous to share it with somebody else, just write it down and then see if it happens. You know, date it, time it, email it to yourself, have a special file in your email folder. You know, just keep a record of it so that when you get the validation that, like, say you're like, oh, I feel like my friend's pregnant, but I feel like if I say something to her, she's going to think I'm crazy. Or I feel like maybe my friend is sick, but I'm scared to say something because I feel like that's negative. Just write it down and create it as a file folder for yourself. Now, when people are like, do you get scared about the information you get? No, I don't, because I recognize that even if it is about someone being sick or like I had a dream about doing a reading, and then it turned out a couple months after that a family friend had passed away, and the dream was of me, and I did a reading for this person's other family member. I'm trying to keep it a little quiet. What that dream was about the reading I gave to her. Now, if I was supposed to know or stop that event from occurring, I would have known who that reading was for, that I did it in the dream, and all of that. So there's just many things that we aren't supposed to control. We just have the information for it. And, you know, part of the human experience is having disease and having illness and all of that stuff. And it happens to people. And is it sad? Yes. Is it hard to go through? Yes. And I recognize that, but I try to sort of look at it as an observer rather than taking it all in and just, you know, observing the human experience rather, again, than taking it all in and absorbing it all and feeling like somehow it's my responsibility to save the world. It's not. That's not my responsibility. Again, I sort of had to process that when I had that dream, and then knowing ahead of time, but I also had to finally reconcile with I don't know why I had the dream ahead of time, but I know that there was some reason, and maybe I'll figure it out at some point. Maybe it's to share this experience that I wasn't meant for me. Whatever information I get doesn't necessarily mean I'm supposed to save or rescue people with it. There is a lot of healing in just passing on messages as they are. So for me, there is nothing scary about it. Now, you can limit the information that you get. If you start to feel like this is overwhelming and this is too much, you tell your guides, like, slow down. It's too much information, or filter it for me because I'm getting overwhelmed. And they're happy to do that for you. You know, you're not going to just all of a sudden decide you want to be psychic and then, like, see everything. First of all, I don't see everything. And any of the professional psychics out there, besides me, that have been doing this and you see on TV and stuff, they don't see everything, and they'll say, I don't see everything. But the biggest purpose for intuition and your psychic ability is to help you on your own path and your own journey. And people will say, I've taken classes before and read things where they say you should turn it on and off, it's too overwhelming. And that's great for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me. It's on all the time because I consider them my counsel. I'm in prayer quite a bit during the day. Prayer, conversation, whatever you want to call it. I do this all the time. In fact, many of the times when I'm quiet in my head, I'm just sort of chatting with my guides and kind of, it's not about me doing these massive meditations all day long. It's just this constant conversation almost. And I do that because I find comfort in it. I find comfort knowing that I don't have to navigate this world by myself. I don't have to control it. I can just kind of sort of like ask, how do I do this? You know, what's the best route for this? What's the best route of conversation? What's the best route of, you know, should I be doing these videos? What should I be doing on these videos? It's just, it's advice and it's counsel for me to live my best life while I'm here and to live in my highest self while I'm here. That's what it's really for, you know. It's also listening to that, like, you shouldn't really hang out with that person. And it's not that that person's bad. It's just vibrationally, they aren't going to be a great match for me. Friendship wise, they also tell me not to read for certain people. And because whatever message would come through me, either they won't receive it or I'm not a good match to read for them. And I'm totally cool with that. So it's all those kind of things. It's very personal. That's what I use my intuition for. Why do we shut down our intuition? Why have we shut it down so long? How do they shut it down? Well, they shut it down in so many different ways. You know, it's like when you tell your kid, you know, it's simple things like don't tell your kid to like if they fall, go, oh, you're okay. Well, what if they aren't okay? And what if inside they're going, I'm not okay, but they're saying I'm okay. So now how do I trust me or do I trust them because I love them and they mean a lot to me and, you know, they're my provider and my comforter. And so, well, maybe I am okay, but I don't really feel okay. Like, or if someone go, you know, just certain little things that you say to your kids. So I say to my kids, are you okay? And when I don't tell my kids they're full or they need to eat more, or unless they've like had 2 bites and it's like really ridiculous that they're just hankering for dessert. Are you full? How does your tummy feel? Well, you got to tell me because you're inside your body. I'm not. And I sort of approach trying to get them to trust their own intuition about their own body, themselves, even other people. When they don't want to say hello to somebody, you know, I'll say they can say hi if it's a stranger. I'm like, well, you're with me, so it's okay. You're okay to say hi. But one of my daughters is very shy and she's incredibly empathic. And, you know, a lot of people make it about them and I just try to honor her own intuition. She can't fully decipher out yet if it's just that she's feeling their anxiety or their bad day, or maybe they're not feeling well. And she hasn't had enough experience in the human body yet this go around to kind of work that all out. So as she's on her growth pattern, I just honor that for her so that she can learn to honor her own intuition as she grows. That's sort of what you can do for your own kids. And you can sort of do it for yourself too, you know, like just honor it. Don't say you're weird or you're crazy. I have to tell you, so many people come to me, I gotta tell you the weirdest thing. I feel crazy. I don't know. And I'm like, you're not. Nothing's weird to me. Everything's totally game for normal as far as I'm concerned. You know, the experience that you have, the super normal experience you have doesn't have to be the way Hollywood portrays it. You know, and you can set boundaries too where it comes to spirit. You know, like I don't want to receive it this way. I want to receive it that way. Like I don't want stuff moving around. I'm not comfortable with that. Or I don't feel comfortable with feeling stuff. So can we alter it where I'm just getting a sense of knowing, or however it is. And they'll work with you and helping get you to that point. So that's that. Claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience. Those are the 4 ways. Remember that if it feels calm, if it feels relaxed, that's your intuition. It comes quickly. It's fleeting, so pay attention. Honor it. Acknowledge it. Say thank you for the information. It will come more. Though as you slowly open up that tap, the water will continue to flow faster and faster, and you can turn it down. You don't have to have it at any crazy rate or anything. Take records of it so that when you're validated for it, pardon the eye scratch, when you feel you've got validated, so it's sort of like your own check and balance system. How do you practice? If you get really good at it, you feel comfortable enough, open it up to a friend. You know, you can do what I do. Like if you're looking for something, kind of write down what you see. And then when you find it, you can do that. You know, one of my friends posted a thing about turning a card and you saw the back face of it and said, what do you get when you get it? And I saw it was a tarot card and I saw a hanged man. Well, it turned out it was the world, which was basically what looked like the hanged man reverse, or the shape of the person and the way they were standing and all that. So I still test myself and I have fun with it and I get excited about it. So I hope this is fun and exciting for you. I hope you like this video. I apologize for the length. I apologize for the 2-week wait. I will try and be on top of it and get you some more. If you have any questions, want clarification, please put a comment below. I will get back to you. If you like the video, like it. If you'll share it with me, share it with others. I really enjoy doing this for you, and I'm super grateful for all of this love and support I've gotten. And remember, it's Annalisa at myspiritualfriend.com. Have a great night.